What's going on, family? Real talk video here. I pray everybody is doing well as we give the Most High all the honor, the glory, and definitely all praise and worship. Tired of working for somebody else. Tired of working for somebody else. Great email, Sister Natasha. I'm going to respond back with this video here. That's why I'm going to title it, When You're Tired of Working for Somebody Else. You want to know my little input on this and moving forward and doing your own thing. And that's the great mindset to have. Unfortunately, my sister, in this life, you're going to always have the wealthy, the rich, the poor, the middle class, or however you want to, name it. Some people are born into money. Some people have a great inheritance, and you think about it, when you inherit something, you personally didn't work hard for it. The person that gave it to you did. So it's really a great gift when somebody passes along you something that you didn't work hard for. And some people take that and it goes to their head like they the one that really worked hard for it, and they use it against others. And then some people are humble with it. They get an inheritance and they share it with others, and explain the truth about it. I'm saying all that to say, you got to survive, you got to live. So you take a 9 to 5, you got to pay bills. Bible say man don't work, man don't eat. But then the Bible also says be more like the lender and not the borrower. And what happens in this life is we get so caught in working for somebody else that you lose focus on your gift. See, real talk, when you sit around a bunch of wealthy people like I do, they'll tell you bosses make other bosses. And I learned this years ago from an older guy that passed away. He said, you don't educate somebody, you can dominate. Catch that. You don't educate. I didn't say train. There's a difference. I explained it in another video. You don't educate somebody, you can dominate, because when you train them, you're only going to train them only what you want them to know, especially if you are the boss. Because most people don't want you to go past them. They don't want you to take the information and blow past them and blow up higher than them. So they train you at a level to keep you at that machine operator. Now, don't get me wrong, you can make some money, but here's the real thing. How much money are they making? See, when you really look at bosses a lot of times, you don't really see them at work. You don't see them coming in at no 4 a.m., no 3 a.m., no, you know what I'm saying? They may come in every blue moon, but they mostly have people working under them. They don't have to work hard like that no more. Because a lot of people that is a boss, I'm going to say this the right way, they worked hard to get to the level they on. And then some cheated their way up there. And you get so caught up in working, and then you look back years after years after years, all you have done is made somebody else rich. As long as you are working for somebody else as an employee, you got to really say to yourself, man, am I really making it like I want, or I'm just barely getting by? Job, J-O-B, just over barely, is what they used to say back in the day. And you think about that. So many people have gotten wealthy off of your labor, your hard work. You look at their house, then look at your house. You look at their car, then look at your car. I'm not saying that to make you want to go out and do something illegal and crazy and not. I'm just saying, and then a lot of these people in these high positions have done a lot of wicked stuff, like I said earlier, to get on top where they are at, But as long as you are working for somebody else, you will be making that person rich in so many ways, or we could say wealthy. To me, there's a difference between rich and wealthy. Wealthy is on a whole nother status, man, a whole nother category. But some of us know that even in this life, if we just look back at our grandparents or some of our parents, you are doing you are making more money than they ever seen. Think about that. How they made it back then with just a little. And most of them worked themselves all the way and for somebody else. So I know it's tough, but the Bible say once again, your gift will make room for you. So you got to do everything that you know and keep praying and stay obedient to what it is that the Most High have for you. You know, my wife made a good point. She was watching some, talking to some lady. I forgot who it was, but she said, you think about it. If you get an income tax return, are you really making a lot of money? I never thought about that until my wife Dee Dee said that. Shout out to my wife, my beautiful queen. I never thought about it like that until she said this was just the other day. As long as you get an income tax return, and I thought about that in my race of people especially, and not just my race, but a lot of the people in my race, how that's what we wait on. And you better have some dependents. And, oh man, I can't wait till I get my income tax return. That's when we try to really do stuff. And it's hard to set back money when you playing catch up. It's hard. But every time you look around, something else happens. Unexpected things happen. Some go wrong with the car. Some go wrong with the house. Some with some. It's always something. So here you are trying to catch up, but it's hard. You wait on that income tax return, and this is the way our people been living for a long time. And I'm not saying all of us, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm just stating facts. You wait on that. You wait on that income tax return. You know, the Section 8. I'm not saying it's just our people once again, but I'm just gonna deal with us a little bit in this video because that's my race. It's like the Section 8, the WIC, you know, the food stamps, the income tax return. That's a lot of times black people hope. Man, I hope I get more than I got back last year, you know. Or maybe, see, back in the day, everybody pretty much was claiming somebody else's kid. How many of y'all remember that when you was selling kids? And then a lot got busted, you know. You mess around and try to claim somebody else's kid, and then you get audited, and they hit you with, hey, you got the paperwork to show this, show that. I'm guilty, I done it. Messed my life up in a lot of ways, and I never done it again. I learned my lesson because I was trying to come up. See, I tell the truth, man, and that's why the IRS, they start cracking down on all this stuff, man, and you realize where we at now, you know, it's getting harder and harder just to make a living because everything is going up except the wages. Everything is going up. Price of food, pay more, get less. Look at the gas prices again. Look at your oil. Y'all know how it is. And so think about the ones that just making minimum wage. So until you really become a boss, you know, of your own, you're going to always be making somebody else more and more wealthy. That's just facts. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you can say, I don't work for nobody but myself. I'm not in debt. That's another point I want to make. We be so much in debt. I ain't saying everybody, once again, that once you do get some money, here you go, trying to get out of debt. So what happens then? I got to come up. This is why our people, once again, it ain't just our people, but I'm just dealing with our people. I don't want to sound like I'm just talking about our race, but it's more than our race that do this. But then this is where you start gambling a lot, you know. You start, hey, man, if I can just, this lotto or the casino or the scratch-offs. So you more and more, your habit become more and more of trying to get rich that way. How many times have we heard in our life, I just got to get a hit, man. I got to get a toehold. I gotta come up. And then when you look at all the money you waste trying to come up that way and reflect back over that, look at how much money you have wasted versus what you could have put back. So it's the mindset, man. The heart got to change so the actions can change. renewing that mind. You got to start thinking different. You got to start eating different. You got to start being around people that's not going to have your mindset the same as theirs. Hey, man, it's just meant for us to be poor. Get off and random type people. Notice I said eating different. I'm talking about everything in general because your health is your wealth. And on that note, shalom.